Tomatoes are a familiar food in many daily meals, thanks to their naturally sweet and sour taste and attractive color. Tomatoes make dishes more flavorful and visually appealing. However, if not stored properly, tomatoes can easily become mushy, lose moisture, or spoil within just a few days. In this video, I will share 3 simple ways to preserve tomatoes, extending their shelf life while maintaining their quality for use in various dishes. Before storing, selecting tomatoes is crucial. Choose fresh tomatoes with firm, shiny skin, uniform color, green stems, and no signs of bruising, cracking, or soft spots. Damaged tomatoes should be discarded to prevent them from affecting the remaining tomatoes during storage. The video supports subtitles in multiple languages. For a more convenient viewing experience, you can enable subtitles and select your preferred language in YouTube's settings. Now let's begin. Method 1. Store in a box lined with paper towels. First, use a dry paper towel to wipe away any dust or dirt from the surface of the tomatoes. Do not wash them with water, as any remaining moisture can cause the tomatoes to spoil more quickly during storage. Where are you watching this video from? Please leave a comment and let me know. I love reading your comments. Every time I read them, I see that my video is being watched in so many different places. It's really exciting. Prepare a clean, dry food storage container. Line the bottom of the container with a layer of paper towels, then arrange the tomatoes inside with the stems facing down. This placement helps reduce water loss through the stems and limits air penetration to the most vulnerable areas of the fruit. If storing many tomatoes, you can place an additional layer of paper towels between the layers to reduce impact. Paper towels absorb moisture generated during storage, helping to keep the inside of the box drier and limiting the growth of bacteria and mold. Then close the lid tightly and place it in the refrigerator. With this storage method, tomatoes can usually stay fresh for 1 to 2 weeks, depending on their ripeness at the time of storage. During storage, check the paper towels regularly. If the paper towels become damp due to moisture escaping from the tomatoes, replace them with fresh ones to minimize moisture buildup and help the tomatoes stay fresh longer. Tomatoes preserved in this way retain their flavor and texture quite well, making them suitable for eating raw, in salads, sandwiches, juicing, or using in everyday stir-fries and soups. Method 2. Wrap each fruit individually in a paper towel and place them in a box. After wiping the tomatoes clean, I individually wrapped each one in a paper towel. This method not only helps absorb moisture, but also creates a protective cushion, preventing the tomatoes from directly touching each other during storage. Additionally, if one tomato starts to soften or spoil, the moisture is less likely to spread to the others, helping to extend their shelf life. Next, arrange the paper-wrapped tomatoes in a clean, dry food storage container. Leave a small space between each tomato and avoid stacking them too many times. Once arranged, seal the container tightly and place it in the refrigerator. With this method, tomatoes can typically be stored for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on their initial ripeness and storage conditions. Those that are still slightly green at the start of storage usually last longer than those that are fully ripe in red. Thanks to being well protected from impact and excess moisture, tomatoes retain their shape and quality quite well. You can use them in salads, eat them raw, make juice, sandwiches, garnish dishes, or prepare stir-fries, soups, and many other everyday meals. Method 3. Preserving tomatoes in the freezer. First, soak the tomatoes in water with 1 teaspoon of salt for about 5 minutes. The salt helps to clean away dirt and some of the microorganisms clinging to the surface of the fruit. After soaking the tomatoes in diluted salt water, rinse them with clean water to remove any remaining salt and any dirt or impurities that may have loosened during the soaking process. Rinse gently to avoid bruising or scratching the tomato skin. After washing, place the tomatoes in a colander and let them drain completely. Once the tomatoes are completely dry, place them in Ziploc bags in layers, avoiding overcrowding the bag as the pressure can crush the tomatoes during freezing. If the tomatoes are large, arrange them in a single layer or stack them gently so they don't weigh down on each other. Next, use a vacuum cleaner to remove the air from the bag. If you don't have a specialized device, you can use a suction nozzle to remove excess air before sealing the bag. Reducing the amount of air in the bag limits oxygen exposure to the tomatoes, slowing down oxidation and reducing the risk of freezer burn during freezing. Then seal the bag tightly and place it in the freezer for storage. With this method, tomatoes can be preserved for 6 to 12 months while still retaining their usability in cooked dishes. When needed, you can thaw the tomatoes by placing them under running water for a few minutes. As the outer layer of ice melts, the skin will also gently separate, making it very easy to peel without needing to blanch them in hot water. After thawing, the tomatoes will be softer than they were originally. So they are best suited for making soups, sauces, or stir-fries. So, I've shared 3 relatively simple and easy ways to preserve tomatoes. Which method do you like best? If you have other good methods, don't hesitate to share them in the comments. I'd love to learn from you. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more preservation methods. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next videos.